Hey ho, superhumans! Welcome back to our channel, Freedom Within Wellness. Lori here, and I'm really happy today to be sharing the answer to a question that I've been asked many times, and that is, what is the difference between TRE and yoga? So the main differences between TRE and yoga is that in yoga we are deciding, also based on impulse, what poses to do, what areas to work on, while TRE activates your natural healing tremor mechanism from your brain stem, and it follows naturally your own personal tension trauma pattern, all these things that your body has had to do to keep you safe all these years. So we just learn how to trust this mechanism. Hey, if you're new on this channel and you're finding value from these videos, make sure that you subscribe so you can know about videos coming up. Our whole goal here on this channel is to guide you in rediscovering your truth, your aliveness, and your freedom within. Let's start with yoga. First of all, I am not a teacher of yoga. I am only a practitioner. I just do it for myself. I've done different types of yoga, such as Hatha, Iyengar, Yin Yoga. I've done some Kundalini yoga also. And so what I've experienced is that yoga is really something that we have to decide from our neocortex, our thinking brain, where or what yoga pose or stretch to do. We might follow a routine each day, or we might follow somebody else's routine in a class. And so it's very much us deciding where. It's a very beneficial practice, and over time as a practitioner we become, I think, more accustomed to really listening to our bodies, because it's helping us on every level, emotional, mental, spiritual. So we start to get more and more connected to our bodies, and we're able to go by impulse in terms of what pose we might want to go into, but it's still us deciding what that is. Now with TRE, it's an actual practice that has exercises, but the exercises are only for the beginning, because the founder of TRE, David Berceli, he invented these exercises to actually reactivate our natural shaking or tremor healing mechanism. And so the exercises are only for the beginning of the practice, maybe the first 4 or 5 times, until your natural healing tremor mechanism is actually reactivated and on again. This tremor mechanism is actually housed in our brain stem, in the instinctual brain, not in the main neocortex, the thinking brain. And so what happens is that we have been socially conditioned to actually stop this healing tremor mechanism, because we've been conditioned to think that shaking makes us look weak or not confident, or that there's something wrong with us. If you're in a job interview, you're on a date, you're about to speak in public and you're shaking, you're going to do everything you can, right, to actually hide that, because we're so conditioned to think that this is not a good thing. But it's only our natural mechanism we're designed with, that when we get too highly aroused emotionally, our tremor mechanism comes down after whatever threat has put us up there is starting to come down again. Once you've done these exercises enough, it's not necessary. Now you are completely using, you can just lie on the floor and you're completely using this mechanism, you're just following it. It is deciding where you're going to tremor and what kind of movement your body's going to do in order to release what it's ready to release that day. Now when I say ready, it's because we all have our own personal tension trauma pattern. If I had 12 people here in front of me that were all tremoring on the floor, nobody's would look the same, because all our tremor mechanism knows what to do, and it only knows how to do it 100% correctly, is follow our own personal trauma pattern of the way that our body's been protecting us, all those places that have gotten tight, and then all that misalignment in ways that it was keeping us in protection mode, in survival mode. And so it's not us that are consciously deciding where to actually tremor or where to actually stretch. By the way, TRE, the tremors, might be a deep, deep tremor inside the primitive muscles, all inside around the spine, or it could be some kind, and you can't see anything from the outside, or it could be some kind of big movement on the outside, maybe an old injury in a shoulder or in an ankle or something that starts to move to release. It could be emotions that you've had trapped in your diaphragm, so it's an anatomical release. You don't know why you're crying or laughing, but it's been kept inside and it's just finally releasing. And so because we all have our own tension trauma pattern, any of these things, including a great big stretch, could happen in order to release something that's been trapped in there, so that our organisms can continue to realign again into a place of safety, to loosen, to open, to increase our flexibility, to increase our motility, to increase our alignment, just everything, because it's you coming back to your natural health, back to a balanced homeostasis. Now, yoga really complements TRE, and TRE really complements yoga, because it's actually unwinding from the inside and calming down the nervous system, bringing us more in a soft, open, supple, comfortable, relaxed place by down-regulating the nervous system, by releasing all kinds of chemicals that are stuck in our body. And so now when I go to do yoga, I can actually stretch a little further and a little more, because I'm not only making a choice to stretch here and do this, now I've actually relaxed my whole organism because it's feeling safer now because I've released all of this trauma and tension. Now when I do yoga and I'm stretching, I'm actually helping my body massively also, and my mind, everything on all levels also. So when I go to do my TRE, maybe my tremors can run through my system more easily, through my body more easily, because I'm actually taking the time to stretch and do the yoga, calming my mind and all the things that yoga brings about also. So if you yourself are a yoga practitioner, you may have noticed before that whenever you're in certain poses that there's a tremor that comes on in your body. If that's the case, it's usually because your body has found a place of tension and it's trying to release it. But you might notice that your automatic reaction is actually to come out of the pose or to hide, if you're in a group, the fact that you're tremoring, because we're so socially conditioned to think that it means it's a weak area, or that there's something wrong with the fact that that is happening. But in essence, yeah, just tension has been found and the body's trying to release it. So if you do keep the two practices of TRE and yoga, what's going to happen is when you're doing your yoga, because your natural tremor mechanism has been activated by TRE, it's going to be activated much easier in your yoga practice. And so you'll be able to maybe find some places of tension, and because you've learned in TRE how to regulate that and how to manage it and how to work with it and to know it's actually good for you if it's not too much, then you can actually keep the tremor going and know how to relax yourself into that, just to allow it to go. So trusting that answers the question of what is the difference between TRE and yoga. I'd love to hear your ideas too on what the differences are. Make sure to comment down below, or if you have any questions. And if you want to try TRE, or even if you have already and you would just like to experience it with us, check out the links below so that you can see our next events, including some free events that we hold each month to give you an opportunity to join us and feel out what it's like to do TRE and grounding with us. So thanks loads for joining me today. I hope that it was helpful. I hope it was valuable. And if it was, make sure that you subscribe so you can know about our next videos coming out. Sawasdee from Chiang Mai. See you next time. Bye-bye.